Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the second Winter 2021-2022 season model roundup from GavsWeatherVids. So here we go again, we're bringing you more winter data, and this time we are getting together 16 long-range season models to see what they're all showing for Winter 2021-2022 for only the second time this season. So we did the first one of these in late September. This is your second season model roundup, and then we're going to have a third and final season model roundup that will release at the end of November ahead of the winter forecast. So yeah, big old update this, and we'll go through all of the data, go through all of the long range models in a moment. Just to say that the first video release was our 7 AM forecast. We've also got the weekend forecast coming up for you later on, and if that was another 10 to 14 day as well. And by the way, the 9th Winter 2021-2022 update part 1 is going to be released tomorrow morning on Sunday morning. So exciting times, exciting weekend. Very much focusing on the winter stuff this weekend. It could be quite a longish video, so if you can't watch it all in one go, then don't worry, it will be kept within the Winter Updates playlist on the GavsWeatherVids YouTube homepage, so you'll be able to come back and watch the video on demand whenever you would like to do that. I'll try and rattle through models as quickly as I can. Thank you so much to Rich, thank you so much to my good friend Richard Trott for the amazing GavsWeatherVids Winter Updates gift. Thank you so much, Rich, for the gift. I love it, I love the gift this year. Thank you so much, my friend. Right, okay, let's start with them. We're going to begin with Kansas. Mean sea level pressure anomaly for winter 2021-2022. Going for a zonal Atlantic driven signal with Kansas, with low pressure to the north and high pressure to the west and to the southwest. By the way, with Kansas and with most of these long range charts, we're perched right on the very, very edges of the chart on the right, on the far right hand corner. So yeah, zonal signal with Kansas, a tropical tidbits, low pressure to the north, high pressure is to the south and to the southwest. We're bringing in a flat westerly flow, lots of flats pancake. Really, that will be a mild wet and windy winter. The temperature anomaly is forecast to be above average, with Kansas and the precipitation anomaly. It's relatively weak signal, but it is a little bit wetter now, especially so for England and Wales, indicative of the zonal signal that we have. Right, we move on to the NMME suite of models, and look at the temperature anomaly for winter 2021-2022 from NASA. The long-range NASA model is actually forecasting a slightly colder than average winter for the UK and to east as well. So quite unusual for NASA to be doing that, the NASA model to do that. Normally this model goes for above average temperatures, but this month, it may change next month, but this month it is going for rather colder than average winter. Precipitation wise, not much of a signal, but maybe hinting at being on the drier side. If anything, if you come over here, you can see that it's drier than average just to our east. So a rather colder, drier winter from NASA. This is the GM from Canada. So we've got two Canadian models. We've got Kansas that we start off with, and we've got the GM here as well. This one going for a milder than average winter, particularly so for England, Wales, most parts of Europe coming out with quite a mild winter as well. And a little bit on the wet side with GM Nemo. A little bit on the wet side with the Nemo. I'm so sorry, everybody. I love that film. Right, so what was I saying? Yeah, a little bit wetter than average with GM and Nemo for the UK Ireland, and a milder winter as well. Not particularly big deviation. Does have quite a bit of high pressure in North Atlantic, or drier signals anyway, up here. So might be going for some like mid-Atlantic ridging heading up towards Greenland, which would at the very least probably promote some cold snaps. And then we've got NCAR, which looks colder than average. I'm not sure about this model. Look how cold it's going in the North Atlantic. That's like a bit of an ice age going on near Greenland, doesn't it? And very cold Scandinavian winter as well. We'll see how that verifies. It is going for a rather colder than average winter, though, with NCAR. And a little bit on the wetter than average side as well. So cold and wet, and probably, you know, if we have it colder than, you know, as cold as that shown, probably a lot of that precipitation would be snow as well. But as I say, I'm not overly sure about how reliable NCAR is. Right, probability match from IRI next. So, of course, this is, let's get it right, Columbia Climate School International Research Institute for Climate and Society. Wow, wow, wow. Sounds grand, doesn't it? I don't know, I'm a bit common for that, I think. Gaz as common as much. Right, I'm a little bit giddy. You probably noticed I'm a little bit giddy doing this. I should be live streaming on a Friday night, and I'm doing this instead, but I'm still a little bit giddy while I'm doing this. Right, so the temperature probability for winter 2000, let's get serious, for winter 2021-2022 from IRI is a little bit colder than average actually for Scotland, favouring a cold average winter for Scotland, and average to milder than average for Ireland, England and Wales in terms of the probability. Precipitation probabilities are favouring a bit of a drier than average winter for Scotland. So Scotland comes away with, it's quite strange, Scotland comes away with like a cold and dry winter. Elsewhere, the probabilities are favouring like quite a wettish sort of winter. So I'm not sure what's going on with this. Obviously, I suppose the jet stream must be pushed southwards or something. But you know, cold winter for Scotland and dry winter, a milder, wetter winter elsewhere. Right, Patalpeng's analogues next. So, of course, Patalpeng is creating an analogues-based forecast based on sea surface temperature anomalies in any particular given month, in this case in September, and then creates an analogues-based forecast, you know, based on those sea surface temperature anomalies that has similar scenarios in the world's oceans. So 200 millibar high tonic from Patalpeng for winter 2021-2022 shows high pressure right over top of UK and Ireland. Very anticyclonic winter coming up, maybe shades of 91, 92. Let's hope not. A milder than average winter from Patalpeng as well. And surprise, surprise, if high pressure right over top of the country, a rather dry winter is predicted here from Patalpeng. So a mild, dry, anticyclonic winter, an anticyclone of doom setting up with Patalpeng's analogues. I hope not. This is how the CFS V2 700 millibar height anomaly is looking for winter 2021-2022. We have high pressure to our south, reaching from the Azores all the way over to Europe. Low pressure's up here, winds in west. It also flat as a pancake, that, doesn't it? Flat as a pancake. So, yeah, you know, that's going to be wet and zonal, certainly mild. All of Europe coming out mild and average. CFS added again, look. Got all of Europe with above average temperatures. And no particular signal for precipitation, but it is a little bit wetter than average to our north. We expect all of the low pressure to be. That's where we're bringing in, you know, outbreaks of rain. Of course, it's dry down here around Spain. We've got high pressure originating from southwest, winds in from west. Flat as a pancake with CFS-V2. Right, that's the North American models done. Let's come over to Europe then. This is how ECMWF is looking in terms of the mean sea level pressure anomaly for winter 2021-2022. Looking anticyclonic this month with high pressure ridging in from the Atlantic into the UK and West Europe. Winds up there somewhere with jet stream. So an anticyclonic winter predicted from the ECM season model. We come away with a slightly milder than average winter. Little bit above average there. And then we come away with no particular signal for precipitation. But if high pressure is ridging in for the winter, you expect a rather dry winter. Another mild dry winter prediction there from ECMWF. We've got Meteo France, mean sea level pressure. All these next few models are coming from Copernicus.eu, by the way. So Meteo France, I'm so sorry, everybody. Meteo France means sea level pressure anomaly has high pressure just to our west. I'm bringing a wind from off the Atlantic, maybe a little bit of northwest-southeast alignment to jet stream. So might allow a few colder snaps, a few colder interludes, but it's not a particularly cold scenario because there's no sort of high latitude blocking. However, temperature anomaly is only around average or has no signal, so not a particularly warm, mild winter forecast. Precipitation anomaly. Again, really has no signal, but perhaps a little bit on the drier and outside. I reckon Meteo France will probably allow, a few colder interludes, anyway, a few cold snaps. DWD from Germany looks like this. We've been seeing pressure anomaly, so we have low pressure up to the north, and high pressure is to our west, southwest. And what's he doing? You're wondering, what's he doing? Premature string through something a little bit. I'm so sorry, everybody. So yes, it looks rather zonal, this one, doesn't it? With temperature, he's gone. Gav's gone. Gav's gone. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'll get myself under control in a moment. Yes, we have above average temperatures with D2D. You don't get this on the BBC, do you? No. Right, have above average temperatures there with DWD for winter 2021-2022. And precipitation-wise, we look like this, so we're close to average. And maybe have no signal. He's gone. Gav's gone. I'm so sorry, everybody. What's he doing? What's he doing? I think I better pause the video. Okay, I've got myself back under control. Now I've had a few sips of the old magic water. There it is. Might not be live streaming, but I've still got magic water with me. So I'm back under control. I'm ready to continue the second winter 2021-2022 season 1 roundup. If you enjoyed the video so far, by the way, why wouldn't you have done? Then please hit the special like button and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And drop a comment after the video and let me know what you think about this particular video. The comments are going to be quite interesting, I would have thought. Right, so where was we? Let's go through DWD again. So it looks rather zonal, this, doesn't it? Lots of low pressure to the north. We've got high pressure to our west and southwest winds going from west. So it looks like an Atlantic-driven zonal sort of winter. Temperature anomalies are above average and mild winter if predicted there from DWD. And precipitation wise, it's looking average, maybe a little bit wetter than average, as you expected a zone Atlantic driven winter. Double C next. This is the Mediterranean model. This one has to do with low pressure to west of Scotland. Does have the Azores High pulled away from us though. The Azores High is pulled out towards Bermuda. We have got a little bit of high pressure up towards Greenland as well. So this one might allow a few cooler episodes, a few cooler outbreaks could be possible with that. Although overall the model is going for a milder than average winter. Precipitation-wise, it's a little bit wetter than average as well. So, yeah, it's another one that's rather Atlantic-driven. But I reckon because the Azores High event is pulled out towards Bermuda, there may be the chance of one or two colder episodes, a few cooler snaps perhaps with that. And then we've got the ECCC. This one looks very, very zonal indeed. This with low pressure to the north. High pressure is to the south. Winds are in from the west. And so that one looks really Atlantic driven. Very, very zonal. Wet and windy with that. Temperature anomalies with the ECCC forecast to be substantially mild on average for most of Europe. Notice very cold winter forecast for Greenland though. Really cold winter over Greenland, but on either side of the Atlantic it looks very mild with this winter with the ECCC, and also a wetter than average winter as well, by the way. So wetter than average with that one. And then we've got JMA, the Japanese Meteorological Agency, mean sea pressure anomaly. Looks like this has some higher pressure out in the middle of the Atlantic. Low pressure is up there, probably bringing wind from like a slightly northwesterly direction. It certainly doesn't look a particularly cold winter. The temperature anomaly is around to slightly above average. The precipitation anomaly has no particular signal. But I would have thought a relatively dry sort of winter would be like with that high pressure just to our west. Right, that starts the Asian models then via Europe. Let's move on to JAMSTEC. This is the JAMSTEC temperature anomaly for winter 2021-2022. Mild average winter. Whoops, that went wrong. Sorry about that. Mild average winter is forecast here with JAMSTEC. Also going for near normal precipitation. A little bit drier to our south, a little bit wetter to our west and north. The overall wind direction, always a little bit difficult to make these out, but the overall wind direction in terms of the 850 geopotential height anomaly shows that we have some lower pressure up here, have higher pressure through there, and we're bringing in westerly winds. It's a westerly Atlantic-driven winter. Beijing Climate Centre, penultimately, looks like this. This is a 500 millibar height anomaly from the Beijing Climate Centre. This one has above average heights to our north, below average heights to our south. Winds, if anything, could be in from the east with that. Definite signals to northern blocking. Look at all this red we have within the high latitudes. Wow, wow, wow. Right away from Greenland all the way over here to Svalbard. So sorry, everybody. And it does extend towards Siberia as well. You couldn't envisage you'll be bringing an easterly with that, really, couldn't you? So much northern blocking and low pressure down towards the Mediterranean. It's 200 millibar height anomaly. You're looking very, very samey with above average heights again from Greenland into the Norwegian Sea, back in towards the Svalbard, and then going further east of that as well. By the way, could we bring in east winds all the way from the Urals with that? Could we? Could that bring in winds from the Urals? Let me know in the comments what you think about that idea. Bringing in the winds from the Urals there. I wonder, maybe. A temperature anomaly from Beijing Climate Centre for winter 2021-2022 is around average. It's not going for a particularly cold winter, it has to be said. Which is a little bit surprised given the extent of northern blocking. But then again, all of these models will always show above average temperatures, or nearly always. Anyway, so I reckon, with that sort of level of northern blocking, within the high latitudes, there's got to be some cold air being pushed out into, Eurasia and Europe. There must be some cold air being pushed out with that sort of level of northern blocking. So I reckon that is probably indicating quite a cold winter. And the precipitation anomaly is looking like that. So, not far from average, perhaps a little bit wetter than average in northern areas. But yeah, I don't think there's much of a signal for precipitation, but maybe a little bit on the wet side. It does look as though the wetter conditions are extending a little bit like that, doesn't it? So it would again imply the winds coming in from the east, I would have thought, more so than the west. Quite an interesting update from Beijing Climate Centre. And out of all of these models, if you want a cold winter, the Beijing Climate Centre is the one that you should root for. So that's the one that would have at least a route, a pathway to genuinely cold weather during the winter with such a high level of northern blocking. And then finally, we've got the UK Met. Below C5, so this is being cell pressure anomaly for the UK Met. Just looks very unsettled, lots of low pressure, pretty much centred over the top of the country. It does show the Azores high again, as a few of these models have done. Shows the Azores high sort of displaced a little bit further west than its normal, typical, traditional position. So the Azores high is quite away from us, telling us that it's not a traditional sort of zonal southwesterly pattern. And will probably allow for some cold snaps, if anything, a few cold snaps, a few cold interludes. But there just isn't the sort of required level of northern blocking to really lock in to cold weather with that. But because the Azores high is pulled away from us, quite a long way away from us at its centre, there would be the potential anyway for some cooler or colder interludes. But compared to like the Beijing Climate Centre, that's Beijing Climate Centre, remember all of that red in the high latitude. Compared to that, there's very little genuine northern blocking, particularly over on our side of the pole. The temperature anomaly is actually a little bit above average, going for a mild average winter with the UK Met in those orange colours. And then lastly, obviously, with a very Atlantic-driven sort of winter, low-pressure control, cyclonic winter, I suppose, we're coming away with above average rainfall. A wet winter is forecast there from the UK Met. And we're done. Wow. What do you think about that, everyone? What do you think about that? Yeah, so that's it. That's a 6. I've been a bit giddy on this, haven't I? Just slightly. Just just a tad. No, but that's it. That is your 16 long-range models from the second Winter 2021-2022 seasonal model roundup. I think clearly they're favouring a milder than average winter. That is very, very evident going through these. There's a bit of discrepancy about whether that's a mild, dry, anticyclonic winter or whether it's a mild, wet, cyclonic winter. So there is that to sort out. But the overall scene is very, very strongly, heavily leaning towards mild. In fact, there's no model there that's really going for a cold average winter, other than, I suppose, NASA is a bit cold with a temperature anomaly, and the Beijing Climate Centre, whilst it doesn't show cold average temperature anomalies, it does have a very, very pronounced amount of northern blocking, and would, I think, sort of drive cold air down to mid-latitudes, although the model is not really seeing it at the moment, because these models don't see that. But with so much northern blocking, the upshot would be, pretty cold for much of Northern Europe. But other than that, obviously this is very, very heavily leaning towards a milder than average winter. Are they just referring to the default? Remember, most of these models were generated at the beginning of October after that very warm September. So are they factoring that in? And is that what's going on here? Will there be a swing in the third and final update, something quite a lot colder? Or is this way the models are going to go? And, our third update, they'll all be forecasting mild. Again, we'll find out at the end of November. But there we go. That's what they're showing on this second Winter 2021-2022 seasonal model roundup. I hope you enjoyed the video. It did descend into a little bit of a fiasco, a little bit of a shambles halfway through, but I pulled it back in the end. I got myself back under control. Thank you, Magic Water. We was able to pull it out of the fire, I think. So hopefully it went okay. Give us a thumbs up if it did. And let me know in the comments what you think. Right, so that's it. I'm so sorry, everybody. That's it then. We're going to be back later on for week ahead forecast, and we'll also have a tentative auditing day that will include all of the regular features tomorrow. We're going to start Sunday. We're going to start off with the 7 a.m. forecast. We will have part 1 of the 9th Winter 2022 update, as well as our Sunday evening live stream as well at 6 p.m. So that's all going to be very exciting and interesting, hopefully. And part 2 of the 9th Winter update, of course, will be released at 6 p.m. on Monday. But for the second Winter 2021-2022 season 1 roundup, that's all for now.